Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Jeanette Biro here. Welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom with Spirit, where I will tune in through mediumship or channeling and see what messages Spirit has to share. So today we're starting off with a really neat piece of information. And I'm still going to ask Spirit what else there is. But this came in a client session, just happened. And this was some really interesting information to kind of follow on the heels of what I talked about in Cosmic Consciousness last week. So if you missed Cosmic Consciousness, I talked about this timeline jump that we recently did around November 6th or 7th, and how we are kind of walking one foot in the new frequency, one foot in the old frequency, and Spirit gave a little bit more information about that. And this is what I really want to share. So they said that the old Earth frequency, so if you picture two parallel Earths, the old Earth frequency is working on a consciousness level, and this is general, so just follow me. It's working on a consciousness level from 1985. And the new Earth frequency is working on a consciousness level of 2025. So you have quite a lot of time of difference of different levels of consciousness within the two worlds. What they said is the old frequency, the 1985 frequency, is a very disparaging frequency. And that was the word that they used. And that disparaging energy and frequency is a consciousness where there's a lot of projection, a lot of judgment, a lot of finger pointing, that kind of thing. Whereas the 2025 energy is one of looking inward first and responding consciously. Looking inward first, checking yourself, and then working for the greater good of others while maintaining personal boundaries. Versus the old frequency is like getting a piece of information, reacting about it, having whatever your reaction is. Let's just say it's a very generalized blow up reaction, finger pointing back. Then there's a response back again, and then it takes time to get down to the bottom of it. Now, with the energy of 2025 being so much more conscious, there's more conscious choice in there. And so what we need to really realize is that throughout the month, the rest of November and moving through December, for those of you that feel a lot of the energy of the new Earth frequency, the 2025 frequency, which I think is really interesting because we are stepping into 2024 soon, and that 2025 energy is beckoning us. Right? So there's like a pull through 2024. But many of you are feeling this energy here, but you still have a foot in the other energy. And so what Spirit is recommending is if you understand your consciousness and you are consciously choosing very often in daily life, it is time for you to coast. It is time for you to coast through 3D energy throughout December so that you can then step 2 feet on that new Earth frequency come January 1st, come the energy of 2024. So there's something really interesting there. So that's what I want to share first off. Now I'm going to go in and ask Spirit if there's any more detail about this, okay? But I thought this divide between 1985 energy and 2025 energy was a really neat way to describe the frequential nature of the two Earths. And they're saying, yes, there have been different leaps along the way since 1985, but they said the general energy for a lot of very 3D stuckness is that of 1985. Okay, very interesting. Okay, let me just see where we go from here. Hold on. Okay, and so my guides are saying that along with this coasting through December, they're also saying it is really important to take care of your own needs right now. And that is not a selfish thing. This is something else I talked about actually in Cosmic Consciousness. They called it self-centered, but being centered in self. So when we hear self-centered, we think of somebody who's very, all up in their own business and thinking they're so much better than everybody and the world revolves around them. In essence, your world does revolve around you because of your perspective. However, you can be self-centered or you can be centered within yourself. And that's what Spirit is saying. And from that position of being centered within yourself, you know when you can put up a boundary and what it needs to look like. You know when you can spend your energy in helping somebody else and when you need to allow them to have their journey. When you are centered in yourself, you have a much better sense of what's going on and how to act without totally depleting your life force energy, which then kicks us into a lower frequency of being. So now is a really important time to coast as you can through 3D things, meaning be very present in your daily moments. Really revel in things that bring you joy. And in that, you can still be connecting with spirit. You can still be grateful for them, talking to them and all of that. But trying to go too far ahead right now, for some of you, could be too much because you still have a foot stuck in the other world. And it's like pulling your body too far apart, right? The physical density that is you is having to maneuver so many energies that taking a little bit of downtime, so to speak, can be helpful. But the downtime doesn't have to completely disconnect from spirit. You can still communicate, but you're very, very, very present in your 3D world. Sorry, they're saying one other thing. But they're saying there's so much value right now of you taking care of you because, you know, like they say in airplanes, put your own mask on first, then help others. When you do the little things to take care of you, you have so much more capacity, consciousness, and energy to help others and to be of service. So it's really, it feeds in, one thing feeds into the other. And then lastly, they're saying, so with this energy of 1985 versus 2025, be very thoughtful of any disparaging energy that comes through your thoughts. When you start wanting to project, when you start wanting to point fingers, when you start wanting to judge, and we all will go through those phases, right? It's about when we catch it. We're like, is that actually accurate? Or am I feeling depleted and tired and hungry and all this? And I actually need some self-care here or some downtime because my thoughts are not actually accurate. When you start doing that, pay attention to what do you actually need in that moment. Because chances are you're judging because you're feeling a lack of something and you need to honor that lack of something so that your judgment then turns into conscious thought and then action if needed. And it could be that, you know, somebody did or said something to you that requires a response, but your conscious response versus your judging response is going to be two different frequencies. So be thoughtful of the disparaging thoughts that can move through you. Know that that's because there's still, for many of you, a foot kind of still in the old frequency while most of us is in the new frequency, and it's all part of transition. It's all part of transformation. So be gentle with yourself in that as we continue moving forward. So I will leave that with all of you for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And, you know, I want to take a moment to thank you all so much for your positivity, your energy, your comments, your shares. I'm really deeply honored to have so many of you say, like, I like to start my morning with what Spirit brings through. I just need to tell you how honored I am to be that conduit for Spirit to help lift you up. That fills my heart, and I am beyond grateful to be a part of that link between the spirit world and you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everyone, I will let you go and I will see you all tomorrow.